Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Backyard Farm to Table. I'm Kelvin, and today we are going to make salmon? No, not just salmon. We're going to make from this one almost 4-pound piece of Atlantic salmon, we're going to make Gravlax, we're going to make lox, we're going to make smoked salmon, both cold and hot. How you gonna do all that with just this little thing? And I ain't got time for all that. And we're gonna do it paleo. Paleo. Now, behind me, because ain't nobody got time to be just making one thing at a time, I've got going some curry goat, and if you want, I'll put the link for that video in here so you can go and see that. But with this here, it's all starts the same, just about. The only difference is the Gravlax, okay? So, how do we cure, meaning how do we get this to the point where the moisture has begun to come out, it's begun to dry a bit, and now it's safe to eat without having actually cooked it, okay? And that's what curing is, all right? Unless you take it one step further and you go ahead and you actually hot cook it, cold cook it, it's essentially sushi, all right? So, for every pound of salmon that you have, you want to mix in the cure. And the cure is 1 pound of salmon, half a cup of salt with half a cup of brown sugar. Now, because this is a paleo recipe, I'm using coconut sugar, okay? But it'll work just the same, half a cup of coconut sugar for every pound of salmon. And we want to take, just mix that all up real good. Your hand's clean, just use your hand, twirl it on up. Ain't nobody got time to be washing dishes, like I always say. All right, so get that well mixed together. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not a huge fan of Gravlax, and I'll eat it, but the main thing is I had to go out and get some of this dill off the farm, and dill is added to the curing process for making Gravlax. So Gravlax and lox vary because of the dill that is inside there, okay? So, not a huge fan of dill, you're not gonna be a huge fan of Gravlax. So I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna cut this piece right here, and that's gonna be my Gravlax. So, take out a good sized piece of saran wrap and cover that onto a rimmed sheet. In this case, I'm going to use a cookie sheet, but you can use a pan if you want. You can use a plastic container. This isn't going in the oven. What's going to happen is when we put the cure on here and we set it inside the refrigerator, the moisture that is within this fish is going to come out, and it's going to be quite a bit. So if you put it on something that's flat, or you just simply take and put this inside there, you're gonna have a big mess in your refrigerator 24 to 48 hours, depending upon your cure time that you wanna go ahead and do this at. So, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put my salmon on the plastic. Let me turn it this way so it's easier to see. And I'm going to do this piece right here, But this is only so I get an even coating of all of my cure. Okay? So, what I like to do initially, even though it will go down through and that's the skin, but it's going to come up through. So go ahead and put yourself down a nice good layer of the cure underneath. Okay. Then use all of it. What? Seems like a lot, and this thing gonna be salty and it's gonna be sweet. I don't think I'm gonna like that. You don't know what you're talking about. Listen, this is just like that salmon that you go to the grocery store and you spend $12, $13 a pound for. Except this costs less. Let it be all down the sides. In the end, you'll thank yourself. Okay? Now, I'm going to cut that off right there for the moment. I'll take another piece here. For my Gravlax. I'll put that dill right on there. Make sure it's well covered with cure. Okay. And then we want to take and wrap it up as tightly as possible. And it doesn't have to be airtight. You can use a vacuum seal machine if you want. You've got one of those. There ain't no need to run out and buy it. Okay. And let's do the same thing with the big piece. So you can close it up best you can, press it together. The secret to plastic wrap is the more you pull it, the better the adhesion is going to be. Okay, it won't snap back. Okay, so there we go. Got both pieces. Set it on the tray there. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Think of it, the cure time, in terms of how you would order a steak. If you like sushi, then you would do this for 24 hours because that would give you like a medium rare. Do it 36 hours, and that would give you like a medium. But if you want it well done, then do it for 48 hours. After that, you really don't get much out of it, and the meat starts to become really, really tough, and ain't nobody trying to have jerky. You trying to have some really nice salmon that you can put in salad, you can eat with some quinoa, and the famous bagel, cream cheese, onion, dill, chives, capers, and all that lusciousness all put together that we love to eat, okay? The other thing that you want to do is to take another item, and I'm not going to show it right here, but when you put it inside the refrigerator, take another pan, take another dish or something that's going to pretty much cover all of the body of the fish so that it weighs it down, and put on top of there, hey, take the other stuff that's in your refrigerator, stack it on top of that pan. You want to be able to press out the liquid as it goes. So I like to do mines as medium, and so we'll be back in 36 hours from now. We're gonna time lapse because you ain't got time to be sitting here waiting for 36 hours, and I ain't got time to be sitting here trying to entertain you for 36 hours. So put this in the fridge. In 36 hours, I'll come back and we'll take it from there, and you will not regret it. Okay? Stay tuned.